Okay guys, so I want to show you how to go to green chess and play through a game of Gothic chess on there. What I'm going to do for this video is go through my first round of the May daily move tournament. It was an interesting game. I really thought that I had it in the bag, and as you'll see from this game, it really seemed like I had it under control. Next thing you know, everything just got out of hand before I knew it. So let's see, you can see all these games out here. Let's see, we got someone new here. I'm just going to sign up for a quick game here because why not? This is a fun variant if you ever get a chance to play it. But here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually select my profile. Okay, as you can see, I like Gothic chess. Now, the person I played in the first round, I'm going to search for their name. It was Letchworthshire. Letchworth. All right, so I have one game against this person. I had no idea going into this game if they were better or worse than me. So as the game started out, I really thought that maybe I was the better player, and as we come to find out pretty quickly, not so much. So here what I'm doing now, I'm having to actually kind of scroll down to the first move, and here we go. So the first move, I was black, so my opponent played f4. For me, this is an unusual move. But you will see, and this is also a move that makes me wonder about my opponent's experience with Gothic chess, because most people start out playing this pawn move, pawn to king 4, which is f4 on this 10 by 8 board. Now, why do people usually play it? It's because when they come over from 8 by 8, they're used to pushing their king pawn a lot of times. So that, the other one is the queen pawn, and that actually is one of the more common openings in Gothic chess, but a lot of people from 8 by 8 prefer pawn to king 4, and so that's why you see this. But it's not necessarily the primary main line of openings in Gothic chess. So I replied with the most universal, flexible move, knight to h6. And so let's just kind of whiz bang through a few moves here. Nothing too exciting. Here I'm kind of hoping to set up maybe a trap if possible. So here, let's take a look. Why did I take that knight? It's because I wanted to set up my cheapo. So at this point I'm already thinking, okay, there's a chance that I can get one of my favorite traps. I really didn't think I was going to get it, though. I just figured that, I'll just double his pawns and kind of break up the pawn structure a little bit. So I was expecting white to take with the queen pawn, and then my trap wouldn't really work. So what my opponent did, though, was take with the b pawn, and suddenly I realized, hey, I've got my favorite trap, so I should actually be winning now. So now there's no way that white can save the super majors. The queen is basically in like a fool's mate corridor attack situation here. The queen can't run, and the only pieces that can block are also super majors. That's the archbishop and chancellor. So either I get the queen, the chancellor, or the archbishop, so I will get one of the three super majors. And so there's the archbishop. There's nothing that can be done. Now, one thing I don't want to do is allow the archbishop to take my bishop and then get the knight, so I would only get the archbishop for two pieces instead of one minor piece. So I have to either take the archbishop or guard my bishop again. So I guarded it with the archbishop. Okay, so now I delayed capturing the archbishop for a while. These are kind of standard moves. Now this is maybe where things got a little weird. I didn't know what to do with my queen's knight, so I stuck it on the side of the board. Thought I'd be clever and maybe go to f4 a couple moves later. I take that back, that's e4. So I was thinking I could go to e6 or e4, and because the archbishop is pinned against the queen, I've just been sort of toying with white, almost rubbing it in his face that I can take your archbishop whenever I want to. But that may have actually worked against me, because then I started to realize that there were things that could happen adversely to me if I didn't hurry up and take the archbishop. So I took it, and here's where things started to really look scary, because I started to realize that white is getting some serious initiative. He's already castled, and then I actually end up not castling. So, looking at these moves, I start to wonder, whoa, what's going on? But as you can see, white's got that battery against my king side, and so it was tough for me to decide if I was going to I wanted to castle queenside at one point, but as you can see, the open b file is working against me, and that bishop and pawn attack over there, it's really making the queenside look kind of scary. And then the kingside also has the problems of the battery. So really, I'm starting to wonder if I can castle at all. And my position surprisingly unraveled very quickly. So you can see I'm doing a lot of retreating with my leapers, my archbishop and knight on the queen side. And here I'm starting to realize that things are going south very quickly. I'm just being targeted left and right with my super majors. They're running out of places to run. So as you can see, I'm just getting kicked around and backed up to my back rank. So at this point, I'm up material, but white has tons of compensation. I think we could probably say that white is actually better now. Now I've got my chancellor on the side of the board. They say knights on the rim are dim, and here I've got a chancellor on the rim, which is slightly dim. Somewhere, yeah, right here is actually where I ended up hanging a piece too. So if you go here, I made the mistake of not just retreating with the knight when it got kicked. I was so tired of getting kicked around, I thought, well, if he kicks me, I'll kick him. But what I didn't realize was he simply retreats his knight to a safe square, attacking my chancellor, and now I lose my knight. So at this point, there's so much compensation, and I've lost 2 minors for the super major that I got early in the game. So, white is practically winning now. So here to try to slow down white's attack somewhat, I actually give up the queen for the chancellor. It just depends on the position. I think generally the queen's better than the chancellor. So I think white can be said to actually be even or up material right now. And I would give like a piece away if I could, just to castle, safely, because my king is starting to really come under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of forks, and there's bishops. Look how nice. I mean, he's got 3 minors on on his 5th rank. The 2 bishops are just controlling so much of the board. The weaker pieces are picking on the more valuable pieces. So here I'm trying to do like a kingside pawn storm. It's kind of a desperation attempt, honestly. Trying to hold on to, trying to defend all of these squares that are coming under attacks and double attacks. And here you've got triple attack on that e7 pawn. It's just getting to be an untenable position overall. And now I'm pretty much under a mating attack. Just a matter of time. Here we go. So the rook is pinned, can't take back. The archbishop can take, but let's see. Now here you're probably wondering, why didn't I take that rook? But it's actually a mate and 3 combination. King takes, bishop to f6 check. The king goes to the back rank. The queen comes down to a8 or c8, and then that's going to be mate next move. So I actually don't take that rook, which then loses that rook. And as you can see now, I'm down 2 minor pieces. I can resign, which I did. All right, so there you go. That was my first round game. I was a little exasperated after blowing one of my biggest leads ever. Yesterday, I actually blew a similar value lead in a game, but it was just a 10-minute fun game, mess around game on chess.com, whereas this was a move at your own pace, but at least one move per day. In this game, and it was actually, if you win, you get $100. So I was a little irritated that I lost out on $100, not to mention was humbled by a player who had given up a super major for a bishop early in the game. So just goes to show, opening traps are nice, but they don't always win the game. You have to hang in there, and my opponent showed a lot of tenacity and hanging in there and then coming back with a very quick attack, which surprised me. I think really I needed a castle, and then some of my development moves were kind of weird, like especially knight to a6 is the move that probably jumps out at everybody. So there you go. There's a post-mortem. You can do these. You can go through tons of games on greenchess.net, and you can learn a lot from looking at these games, and you can also play a lot. There's no real time control. You just have to make a move every week or 2. All right. We'll see you in the next video.